See Purnima, your code. Did you check the log window?
Yeah, it was showing that there was no observations in your.
Okay, so you are doing sum for all these mean and all. Okay, let's run this and execute. Go to log window. See what and all errors it is showing. First here it is showing diff, right?
Mm.
So it is highlighting this function and this the function diff is unknown. Actually diff function will have only one f.
Okay.
Okay, and also diff function will give you the difference in a column wise manner vertically. But here like this 45 minus 45 like 76 minus 54, 67 minus 65 vertically it will do, not horizontally.
Okay.
So it will not work this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's remove that and run. Again something missed, error is there. So it is highlighting here and it is showing, see here instead of hyphen you have kept equals. It's a syntax error, some typing mistake.
Mm.
See, now it's coming.
Okay.
So one by one, if you read the warnings and errors, you will understand where you went wrong because everything it will highlight and it will show you.
Yeah, but yesterday I didn't see the warnings too.
Here in the warning, nothing is there, but in the syntax, in the error, it is showing clearly, right? Okay. So, did you understand now?
Yeah, yeah. Comprehend.
And Swapna?
Yeah, I was trying to understand between the difference between the compel and compress.
Mm-hmm.
So in compress, from what I understand, it's like when you give the compress function, it will delete all the spaces.
Yes, by default, if you don't mention, if you didn't give any argument, by default, it will remove all the spaces.
So when we give the argument, say suppose I give as f,
Okay.
so it will compress and delete that particular f, right?
Yes.
So when it comes to compel, um, it will uh, it will give a blank for all the
It will replace
characters.
multiple blank spaces with a single blank space.
Yeah, but so at the end of the day, you will have only one blank space.
Yes, between each word.
Yeah, each character.
Yes.
So, do if we give an argument, how does that work?
For the compel, no arguments.
Okay, yeah, that was so. So one more question I have is, yesterday you remember you gave us a task in that when we used the index function,
Hmm.
you mentioned because we have a space between, see, suppose between Jal and Ready, all those, we had that space, so we were using that space because where, all the variables had space, we were using space in our index function. But will we come across a scenario where we'll have different, what do you say, different delimiters?
See,
Do
if
you
you have
understand
a
my question?
different, other than space, whatever the common thing is there between that, we have to observe that one.
Okay,
So
okay,
commonly we had a delimiter as a space. In case for first observation, if you have space, second observation, if you have some comma, third one, if you are having some other thing, then that is not common, right? So in that
yeah,
case, what you can do, you can scan second word and third word, and finally at the end you can adjust the length by using a length statement.
okay, okay,
You can do in that way also. See, in SAS, remember one thing, to get a single output, we'll have many ways.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So whichever is easiest one or whichever is taking less number of codes, we'll generally prefer that one. That's it.
It should just strike you. I feel like, there are different ways, but it should strike you how to do,
Yes,
and
yes.
then from there it
Okay,
goes.
that
So
comes by practice. No need to worry right
yeah. So my last question would be like when you explained about floor and seal function.
now. Hmm.
So yeah, I understand what is floor and seal, but for the negative numbers it's very confusing. So could you please go over that again?
See, for the seal means it will give you an highest nearest integer, right? Floor, it will give you a lowest
Floor.
nearest integer. Now, for the negative numbers, when you compare -5 and -6, which one is highest one?
-5.
-5. So, seal will take -5 and floor will give you -6.
Okay. It would be the opposite of what. That's
Yes.
how I have to remember.
But if you have a positive number, seal will be 6 and floor will be 5.
And this one.
Do you understand?
And yeah, yeah. One more question for you. So when we were doing the new yesterday, when we were going over the numeric functions,
Hmm.
you explained two things, like date and time functions, which were an INTCK function. So INTCK we will use when we are trying to get the difference between, say suppose when we want the difference in months on date and in time, like a solid value, then we use that. And because I'm trying to understand in which scenarios we will be using both of them.
You had to suppose a particular date and the subject date of birth is there.
Okay.
You want to know his age.
Yeah. Then
Then we can
INTCK.
use INTCK or we can use EAD function.
Okay. And date and time functions, when will the scenario be appropriate for it?
Usually date and time we won't extract separately day, month and year.
Okay.
Okay. So when compared to numeric functions, mostly we'll use character functions.
Yeah. So mostly we might not use those date and time just for our understanding purpose, but
But for
in case,
certifications and all, they may ask you how to extract and all.
yeah. So ENTCK function in the for ENTC function is something we can use in the industry. Will be
Yes, that depends. Suppose if you have a requirement of calculating the age or some time interval or sorry, months interval or number of days gap,
okay.
then you can use that.
Okay. Thanks, Priya. That's all from me.
Suppose a subject is there here, two dates are there, some
Yeah.
joining date and leaving date. So how many days he worked? Will you sit and calculate?
No.
Simply we can use INTCK function there.
Yeah. When we want in years, days, and months, so that will be of.
Yes. Okay, and in numeric functions, sometimes when we want to do some calculations, we'll use these functions like this. Or we had some advanced program. In advanced programming, we'll have few statistical procedures where it
Yes.
gives defaultly some statistics.
Okay. That we'll be discussing later.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, that's all from me.
Others?
Hello, Priya.
Yes.
Uh, in index, we'll find the position of a letter, and it's the same thing with the find also. Is that the same thing with the find option also?
Yes.
In characters.
Yes, almost similar.
So then, when will we use the find, and when we will use the index?
Again, that depends. Index function, see, if you have suppose three A's, what it will do, it will just give you only the position of the first A, right? But by using the find function, if you want the position of second or third one also, we can get that. Simply
The
find your variable name and whatever the character you want, comma. If you give some number position, what it will do, it will start counting from that number, right?
Yeah.
So you can use in that way.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes different what is that functions or options will give you the same output. Okay.
Okay.
So others, everyone are fine.
Yes.
Okay. Now today let's discuss about special functions put and input functions. These functions are important even for your certifications and also in real time. There are two functions called put function and then input function. What is the use of put function? Put function converts any value to the character variable. It will change the type of the variable. Suppose if you have a numeric variable and if you want to convert that into a character, we can change that by using a put function. Input, it will change that into a numeric variable. And what put function requires? Put function requires formats and input requires in formats. Let's see with an example. I'll just copy paste the data. Now here in this G dataset, the variable is X and X is a character variable, right? So as X is a character, if you want to perform some calculation, can we perform? Is it possible? See, if you want to check the sum of X, it won't give. Variable X in list doesn't match the type because this is a character. Now I want to change this into a numeric variable. So in real time, we will not have this code. Just simply they'll give you the data set. Then how will you change the type? So for that we can use this put and input functions. Now here this is a character and I want to change that into a numeric variable. So we have to use an input function. So here I'll just create one more new variable, data, new, copy the data set and here create a new variable and write input of your variable name, and here we can use best 12 dot or best dot. This is one format. We can use this as a format and also as an in format. Best 12 dot. That means whatever here, if you observe the numbers, it is having no decimals. Here we are having one decimal, here also one and here 0. So when you use best 12 dot, whatever the best format is there for this, SAS will check and it will only allow. Now we can do the sum for this num variable. See, now it is giving. If you want to check the type, open the dataset and check it. See, what is the type? It's a numeric, right? This one is a character variable. So like this, we can change the type. Now, think that we had this numeric variable and I want to change that into a character. Then we have to use put function. Put of your variable name, and for the characters, remember this point. For the numeric variables, the default length will be 8. But for the characters, for the formats here, whatever the number we are giving, SAS will consider that as a length. Suppose here if I give some 4.1. 4.1 means here there is a formula format equals to w dot d, width and then decimals. So total width should be 4 and after decimal 1 digit should be there. That means suppose this one. So what is the total width? 1, 2, 3, 4 and after decimal we are having 1 digit, right? In case if you are increasing the decimals, now I want to increase the decimal. Now here it will become 5.2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 your width and then decimals. There are 2 digits. Do you understand? Now I want to print with like 4.1. So it will print. See, after decimal it is taking zeros. If it is not having any character. See, again it will adjust accordingly as per the whatever the best way is there it will. So here we are having maximum 3, right? But if you give 4 means it will not add zeros here or some numbers. Whatever the best thing is there to print, it will print that one. Is that clear?
Priya, can you go a little top? There you said it's a character, but why did you put here in? See, you said X is a character, right? We have a dollar next to it,
Hmm.
but we put it as input.
By using input function, I converted that into a numeric variable.
Okay.
So here num is a numeric variable.
So if you are confused and if you are not sure whether it's a numeric or a character, we go check the variables and try to understand it, and then accordingly we
Yes,
work.
yes.
Okay.
Obviously, here we can check what is the type.
Hmm.
Okay. So now this one is a character variable. See, this is a character variable and length it is taking as 4 because here we have given 4. In case if you give here some 7, now it will take 7 as a length. See, 7 as a length. So this is only for the character variables whenever you are using put function. Whatever the number we are giving here, it will consider that as a length. Do you understand this example? Let's
So
see.
for numeric, it will be always best dot.
Sorry?
For numeric, it's always going to be best dot.
No, it depends on the data. Suppose if you have
Okay.
dates, then we had so many formats and informats. Right? So let's see with a real-time example in what way we'll use. So in real time, whenever we are having date and times, so usually in real time date will take them as an character variable. Suppose if they give you a data in the form of a numeric variable and they are asking you to change that into characters, then we can use put function. Let's take an example here. Input. Let's take some date, jdate, ddmmyy10 dot. For that we have to use format. Now here, what is the type of the variable jdate? Hmm?
Character I'm using.
Character. Did I use a dollar sign to the variable name?
No.
It's a numeric. To read it as a numeric, that's why we are using formats and informats, right? So this is a numeric variable and the default length is 8. Right? Now I want to convert this into a character variable. So what we can do here, I'll just create a new data set. Copy data from the old data and now here put off a variable name and the format name. Format names always that is our wish. Whatever the format you want to take, we can take that one. So here I want to take like ddmmyy10 dot. Now it will print in an ddmmyy format. See, and the type of the variable is character and the length is 10. Why it is 10? Because here the length we have given it as a 10. In case here if I use date 9 dot, now the length will be 9 and the type is character. Is this clear? Now let's change this character variable into a numeric variable. So by using an input function, input of your variable name and always in formats. How to take the informats? The value and the informat both should match. Right? So here it is in date 9 informat. So the same informat we have to use. Always informat should tally. But formats whatever we want we can use that. Now by using an input, The type is, okay, variable name. So here, let's check the type. See, what is the type? It's a numeric and the length is 8. As this is an input, by using input we are using informats. Again we have to use a format statement if you want to print data in a non-standard data, because now it is in a standard data. Do you understand this one? The only thing here you have to remember is 2 points. By using put function we can convert into characters and it requires formats. So always formats, whatever the format we want, we can use that format, and it will take this as a length only for the characters. For input statement, we need informats and it will convert into a numeric type variable. Now, in certifications, they may ask you what is the type and what is the length of this char variable. They'll give you 4 options, like it is a character variable, default length 8, character variable, length as 9, numeric variable, length as 8 and 9. Now, which one you will select for this?
Character and
Yes, character 9. If they ask for this one,
Numeric 9.
not 9, for the
8.
8, sorry.
only 8, numeric 8. Is that clear? This is about put and input functions. Ritvika, are you following?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, did you watch that formats and informats class?
I did.
Okay, then you'll have an idea about all this, right?
Yeah.
Okay then. So any questions in this? No doubts? Shall I go to next class? Next topic? Okay. Now let's see about proc print procedure. Till now we have seen a print procedure, right? What we are doing? We are just writing proc print data equals to dataset name and then run. But print procedure, here we can use many options and statements. Options like no OBS, double, heading, width, label. These are the options we can use. Remember, these are options. And we can use some statements like some statement where id label by. These are the statements. Now let's see one by one. First let's discuss about options. So if you print any data set, proc print data equals to dataset name and then run. What will happen? It will give you the data present in that, and also here it will give you the observation column, right? How many observations are there? It will give you that number. In case if you don't want that OBS column, here we can write no OBS. Now it will remove that OBS column. See? And here we don't have a space between each observation. So this is our first observation. Immediately second observation is starting. So if you need a space there, here write double. Now it will double the space. Here we'll get some space between each observation. Next one is heading. Heading by defaultly it is in horizontal manner. See, it is printing horizontally, right? All the headings. In case if you want to print vertically, here write heading equals to vertical. Now it will print in vertical manner, like this. NAMESEXAGE, like this. Vertically it will print. And the next one is width. Width equals to, here we'll have two options, width equals to full and width equals to minimum. That means width between two variables. Here between two variables, the by defaultly it will be minimum. If you want to increase, see, we can keep that as full. It will take it as a full. Did you observe the difference between this one and previous one? Here we had just had a less space, but here we had more width. So options means we'll use in the proc statement next to the dataset name like this. Are all these clear?
Can you explain again double?
Double here, by default, see if you observe, do you find any space after each observation, in between each observations?
No.
No. But when you write here double, it will give you the space like this. Now here we are having some space after first one. After second observation also some space like that. This one.
Okay.
So these are the options. Now coming to the statements. Statements, do you remember some statement?
Yeah.
Statements always we have to write in a separate line. So sum, if you want, let's take any numeric variable age. If you want to do the sum of age, then write some age. Yesterday we have seen this. See, it will add all those numbers and it will give you the total here. This is sum statement. Next one is var statement. In case if you want to print only particular number of variables, like I want to print only name and sex. Then if you are writing in a data step, we had a keep option, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
In here, we'll just write in a var statement, var age. See, now it is keeping just only age.
So that means we don't use drop and keep in proc print.
No.
Oh.
See, now here age and name it is keeping. In case if you want to use here, see,
Yeah.
can you observe the color here? Because this is only for a data step, not for proc step. So everyone clear? Sum and var?
Yeah.
Next one is ID. In an ID statement, whatever the variable we keep, that variable it will print first and then it follows the rest of the variables. Actually, what is the order of our variables? Name, sex, age, height and weight, right? Now if you write ID age, it will just keep first age and then remaining variables. So whatever the variable names we are keeping in an ID statement, it will bring those variables to front. That's it. In case if you write two variables here. Now first it will take age and sex and then name, height and weight. This is about ID statement. Coming to the label. Label here, if you write label as a dataset option we have seen. Anyone remember how to label the variable names?
Yeah.
Now here if you want to label any variable name, suppose name equals to name of the subject. And also we had split option. Now here when I write this one, is it taking the label?
No.
No, because a label statement by default it will not work unless we mention label option. To activate statement we have to use option also. Both together we have to write. Then only it will work. See, now it is accepting that label.
But this is not the same case when we use them in the data step, right?
No, yes. Okay, now here what it is printing as per the SAS length, it is taking name of the and subject. But I want to print name in one line, of in second line, the in third line, and subject in the fourth line. That means I want to split this one. So if you want to split, just simply here mention some character, and wherever this one is there, you break. I want to break that. So here write split equals to, in quotations, whatever the character is there, just we can mention that. See? Or I want to split name of the and then subject. So however we want, we can split the label. Is that clear? Okay. So let me check whether we used where label split some ID. No BSW with heading. Okay. We are done with proc.
Hello, Priya?
Yes.
I have a doubt. In data step, we can use keep drop options, right? So then there is no requirement of val option in the proc print. I mean, when we'll use this keep option in the data set and when we'll use val in the proc print.
See, if you are writing in a data step, we can use keep or drop. If you are using in a proc, we can here use where. It depends on which step you are using. And always proc, it is only for an output purpose. It will not make any changes in the data set. But the data step, it will make changes in the data set. In case if you want just only output, you don't want to change the data set, we'll use in proc and we'll save this output. But in case if you want to make some changes in the data set, then we'll use a data step.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now by I'll explain later. So any questions in this proc print procedure?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay then. Now let's discuss about proc sort. What is meant by sorting? Any idea?
Basically sorting.
Sorting either in an ascending way order or in descending order, right? So here we had a sort procedure, proc sort. Data equals to data set name. By which variable you want to sort? I want to sort by variable age and then run. Now here in SAS help dot class, our age is in sorted order. Check it. We had 14, 13, 13, 14, 12. It is not in a proper order, right? So if you want to make changes here, when I run this code, what will happen? It will make changes in this data set. But after making changes, if I want the raw data set, how will I get the raw data set back? We won't get that, right? So always in real time make a habit of creating a new data set by simply giving out equals to class. Now we can retain the old one and we'll get the changes in the new data set. So in case if you are not creating the new data set, it will make changes in the old one and you will not get the raw data back. Of course, we'll have some other copies and all, but always make use of the creating a data set. Now see here, it will create a class data set and age now it is in a sorted order. By default, it will sort in an ascending order. See 11 to 16. If you want to sort by character variable also, we can sort. Now as per the alphabets. So in here we had F and M. So as F come first, all the female records and then all the male records. In case if you want to sort by two variables, sex and then age. Now how will it take? See, if you observe, first it will give importance for the first variable, that is sex. So it will take all the female observations and then here it will sort all the age based on the value. See here, we 13, 14, 12, 15, it is not in an order, right? Even males also, they are not in an order. So, but when you sort by both the variables, see, now all the female records 11 to 15 and all the male records and 11 to 16. Do you understand? Okay. Now, if you want to sort by in a descending order, then how to sort? Just simply here write descending. For to sort in an ascending order, no need to write ascending, but to sort in a descending order, we have to write descending. See, now it will sort in a descending order from 16 to 11. Now descending age, descending sex and then age. Now here, this is your certification question. This descending will be applicable only for the first variable, for the sex. So it will take males first, and age, if you observe, see, it is in an ascending order from 11 to 16 for males. So they'll ask you which these variables will be sorted in what way. So sex will be sorted in descending and age in an ascending order. Are you guys following?
Mhm.
Okay. What else? Proc sort. Yes. And when you have a special characters, numbers, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, negative numbers, missing values, everything all together like this. Now if you sort this variable, which one will it will take first? Whether will it take numbers or missing values or dollar sign or characters? If characters, which one? Capital letters or small letters? Let's see. So first it will take missing values. So here we had one missing value, so it will print that missing value first and then dollar sign and then numbers. Again numbers, -1 is smaller, so obviously it will take that first and then positive numbers. And coming to the characters, first it will take uppercase letters first and then lowercase letters. Because how it will decide? Based on ASCII value. Anyone heard about ASCII values?
No.
So these capital letters and small letters will have some values. See, capital A value is 40 and capital small a value is 70. 70 to 96, here 40 to 66. So always uppercase letters will have lesser value when compared to small letters, right?
Mhm.
So this order and or we no need to remember. Just simply if you write a code, SAS itself will take the data in a proper order. Just for your information, I am explaining you this. That's it. Now coming to how to eliminate duplicate values. So how to remove duplicate value and how based on a single value or how to remove the complete observation. Let's see. We had few options like no dupe key, no dupe or no dupe record, rex, whatever you want we can write, and then no equals. Now here, how many Apollo records are there? 2 Apollo records, right? Now I want to remove one Apollo record. So here we can write proc sort data equals to your dataset name, clinical data, and create a new dataset. Write no dupe key. By which variable? By Apollo variable name is center. By center and then run. Now here 2 Apollos are there. 1, 2, 3 Apollo 1999 and then 56. Here it is 1996 and then 78. So which record it will delete? Defaultly it will consider first one as the original one and second one as a duplicate one.
Mhm.
So when I run this code, see, okay, NIMS also
Uh,
repeating, right? I didn't observe this one. So
but Priya, I have a question there.
hmm,
See, Apollo, the patient ID is same 123, so it deleted. But when it comes to names, the patient ID is not the same, but still it deleted.
we are
Is that
considering based on center.
okay? Okay, gotcha.
Okay, if you want to take ID, we can take patient ID.
Okay.
Now here 1, 2, 3, two record. The subject is having two records, so it will remove second record. You see, 19,
Yeah.
99 and 56. It is keeping the first one and removing the second one.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah.
In case if you want to consider second one as an original one and I want to delete first one, then here we have to mention no equals. When you write no equals, it will consider first one as a duplicate and second one as an original one. See, now it will keep the second one, 78. This one and deleting
If we
this.
have 3 records,
Even though if you have more than two, second one only it will consider. And
if
it
the
will.
third one is the original, then
Sorry?
if the third one is the original one, if you want that one, then how can we?
No, we won't get that one.
Okay.
Then as per the data, according to other variables, we have to sort it out. Depending on the data. Hmm. So is this clear? No dupe key.
Yeah.
Now let's see no dupe record. Now this record is not completely duplicate, right? These values are different. But when you look into this one, these two records are completely duplicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I want to remove completely duplicate records. Sometimes I want to remove even if it is having a same, suppose if the subject is having more than one record, I want to keep just only one record. So sometimes we'll use no dupe key and sometimes no dupe record or no dupe. Now based on the, now it will check for the all the values. If all the values are repeating, then it will delete. It is keeping these two, 1, 2, 3 with age 56 and 78. Because these two records are not completely duplicate. Is that clear?
Um, so when you gave it as no dupe rec, then it completely removed the record. So
Yes.
no dupe key, then
Key
you were
means
using a key
whatever the
variable.
key variable we are giving based on that. Rec means complete record.
No dupe is
No dupe or no dupe record or whatever, all are same.
okay.
You can write like this also.
Okay. Okay. Or no dupe rec is same.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And if you want to get a same output here by using no dupe key, so no dupe key, here we can mention all the variable names, right? So by we can represent with underscore all underscore. Both are same. These two codes, even though the options are different, but the it will give
Because
you the same output because of this one.
yeah.
Did you understand the logic here, everyone? Okay.
Yes, Priya.
Now let's come to the grouping. In case if you want to group, suppose I'll just copy this one. So here we had some Apollo records and some NIMS records and two care records, right? Now I want to group them. Grouping means bringing different same values together. I want to keep all Apollo records together and all the NIMS records together and care records together. In that case, we have to use by statement in proc print procedure, by center. And remember, it is very, very important, wherever we are using by statement, that by variable should be sorted before. Without sorting, we cannot use this. In case if you run this code and go to log window, see here, dataset work.clinical is not sorted in an ascending sequence. So always remember this by variable should be sorted before using that. So proc sort data equals to your dataset name, clinical, and out equals to new by center, and then run this. Now see, all Apollo records together, care records together, and NIMS records together we got. Okay. And now it is printing all the values in a single page, right? In page 26 we had everything. In case I want to split this, first in the next 27th page take only Apollo records, and 28th take only care, and next page only NIMS. Then here we can use page by center. Here NIMS and here care, and previous one is Apollo, like this. And again here page by we have to use along with the by, and by we have to use only after sorting. Everyone understood this one?
First, we have to sort the data, then use by, and then use page by.
Yes. Okay. So what will happen if you use ID statement in the proc print? Suppose if I write ID center. What is the use of ID statement? If you use ID, what will happen? It will bring that variable to the first, right? Center. If I use by, what will happen? It will group them, like all Apollo records together, NIMS and care. If I use both, that it will do the work of both the statements. First it will bring that together, and then it will group like this. So these two are the care Apollo, and these are the care, and these are the NIMS records. Clear? And very, very important concept is first dot and last dot. What is the use of this first? What is this first and last? See here, whenever you are sorting, backend it will create two variables. Suppose here now we sorted by center, right? So center is having three different values for Apollo, NIMS and care. Backend it will create two variables called first dot and last dot. So let's see with another example. Proc sort data equals to sashhelp dot class, out equals to class, by age, and then run. Now here see it's sorted in a by age variable, right? Now here with age is having how many different values? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. 6 values, right? In those 6, first when you look into 11, what is the first value for 11? It's Joyce. What is the last value? It's Thomas. What is the first value for 12? It's James. What is the last value for 12? It's Robert. Are you getting? First value and the last value. If you have only one, SAS will consider this as the first and also as the last one. So how to get all the first values? Let's see here. Data first. I'm just creating a new data set. Copy data from class by age. Now here write if first dot age and then run. If first dot age means it will take all the first values. See from 12, from first one is 11. So what is the first value is Joyce for 11. So it will take Joyce. What is the first value for 12? It's James. So it will take that value. What is the first value for 13? For 13, the first record is Elise. For 14, the first record is Alfred. Are you getting? So it will take all the first records. 11th first record, 12th first record, 13th first, 14th first, and like that. In case if you write last here, last dot age, it will take the last values. Do you understand?
Yes.
But what is the use of this one? First dot and last dot. Now here, when I ask you how many subjects are there with 11 with age 12, what we have to do? We have to count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I ask you about 14, again we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, after 12 means, again if I ask for 12, again we have to count, right? Because we'll forget. We can't remember all the data. So we can create a sequence number here. So like 11, 1 and 2. Again 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 13, 1, 2, 3, like that. This is called sequence number creation, which is very important because we'll do that in real time. Because if the subject is having one subject is having 30 records, sorry, other subject is having only 12 records, and then we can't every time we can't sit and count. So we can create a sequence number. So how to create a sequence number? Let's see. If first dot age, then let's take a new variable sequence number equals to 1. So when I run this code, what will happen? See, for all the first values, it is taking as 1. So 11th first value 1, 12th first value 1, 13th first value 1, right? 14th first record for 1, like that. Do you understand till here? Anyways, I'll explain you if then statement later, but just simply understand the concept. Else, sequence number plus 1. So, for the second one, it will take 1 plus 1, 2. Again here 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, like that. So with age 12, there are 5 records. With age 13, 3 records. With age 14, 4 records. Are you getting? This is called sequence number creation. So if you remember this code, wherever you want to create a sequence number, we'll just use the same code. Of course, the dataset and the variable names may vary, but the concept is same. Any questions?
So when we are creating the first dot and last dot variable, first we separate them as the first time when it is
First dot
occurring
and
and the
last
last
dot we
time.
will not create. When we sort SAS itself will create that first dot and last dot
It's
value.
automatic variable. Yeah.
Yes.
So so when we get so here when we say first dot, like so it is creating when the first time that variable comes, and
Not
then
when the first time. From the different values, 11, how many records are there?
so
2. So what is the first record from that?
Joyce.
Joyce. 12, how many records are there?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
What is the first record?
is James.
So yes, from 11 it will take the first record, from 12 it will take first record, from 13 it will take first record, like that.
Yeah, so it will it will separate all the first records, and then when we hit the last dot, it will start counting how
All the
many.
last records.
Okay.
We'll just
That's what
have only first and last, not second, third, and all.
No, that's not Priya. What? Because when you go to the sequence number,
Hmm.
here you said you're adding. Somehow we have to add the first dot. See, this is the first subject. Okay, let me tell you what I understood, and you correct me. See, now you're saying Joyce is the first subject, and Thomas is the second subject. That's fine. But say suppose when we come to the age, because we are sorting by age. See, in age we have 5 records: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So James is the first person, and last person is Robert. But we don't know how many. I mean, see, now here we have 19 records. That's fine. But when we have a huge data, so because we don't know, we are separating them out and then trying to calculate, right? Okay. Then finally, at the end of the day, we know there are 5 records with age 12.
Yes.
What I understood is right?
Yes. Okay, the main concept of creating the sequence number is that one. But how to create a sequence number is we have to use this code.
First, okay.
Okay. So everyone understood this one?
Yes, Priya.
Okay. So today I'll just stop here. Just practice all these proc print and proc sort, and also put an input functions.